blocked and picked off by Maxey up ahead. Harris.
What a play! Oh, yes! Doc needs another timeout. Come on!
Great sequence.
It does not get better than this.
What a win. Welcome to Celtics Postgame Live. Tom Giles, Eddie House. No Marcus Smart, no Rob Williams, no Al Horford. Jaylen Brown gets hurt in the second quarter. He doesn't return. We'll have more on that as soon as we get any word on Jaylen Brown. And yet the Celtics go out and beat basically a full-strength Philadelphia team, 106-99, Eddie House. I thought that was a great team win.
Yeah, great win. You said all the people that we didn't have. No. It was no problem. They went out there. They played. The spacing was important. I wanted to say that at halftime. I thought that our spacing was going to be key for the second half, especially getting opportunity because the way that they were double teaming Jason Tatum. If we had proper spacing, we were going to get open shots, and it was just a matter of guys stepping in with confidence and knocking them down. And tonight was one of those nights. And, you know, when it's rocking and rolling like that, it's a beautiful thing to watch when they're playing the brand of basketball that they're playing.
Yeah, and by the way, it's the first game all season in which someone other than Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown led this team in scoring. Derrick White had 19. Malcolm Brogdon also had 19. He's standing by with Abby Chin. Let's send it out to Abby.
All right, Malcolm, you told me this morning this Philly team that was red hot coming in would be a good test for you guys. You also told me you believed you're the best team in the NBA. What kind of statement without 4 starters by the end of this did you make about this team and the depth that you guys have?
Yeah, I think that's our strength this year, our depth. It's the next man up mentality. Thought we had a lot of guys step up today, man. I thought Joe did a terrific job coaching us, making adjustments. We played a good game today.
What was the game plan you told me so important to stick to when it came to containing Joel Embiid?
Being physical with him, man. I think Grant has really proven himself as one of the better defenders in this league, and I think he showed it tonight. Joel had, 6 points. He worked for all of them. So, my hat goes off to Grant, but also this whole team, man. I thought collectively we did a really good job.
Yeah, how big were Grant, Blake, and Luke stepping in for Al and Rob?
Huge, man. Luke is a guy that gets spot minutes, but he's always ready when his name is called. Blake goes games without playing, and then he'll start and play a whole game and plays well, man. It just speaks to our team, the professionalism, and the maturity of this team.
You said you guys weren't going to cruise into the All-Star break. You proved that tonight. But you had some big smiles. How fun was this one?
This is a good one, man. To play at this level, to be down 4 starters, including Jaylen going out, it was a lot of fun to put this one together.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you.
Malcolm Brogdon with 19 points, Eddie House. It was the three-point shooting, though, as you talked about, the spacing and everything else. If you take away Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum from the totals, and by the way, the Celtics shot a season-high 54% from 3. They were absolutely phenomenal with 19 threes, 19 of 35. But if you just take those 2 guys away, they were also 18 of 26. I mean, any shot they got, they were making tonight.
Yeah, they were, but let's give credit to Jason Tatum for doing one thing, accepting the double team. And I remember when Doc used to tell guys that accept the double team. If they're doubling you, get off of it. There'll be plays to make. And I thought he did a great job of doing that. And after he did it, I thought the next guy, whoever it was Grant Williams one time. I mean, it was a plethora of different guys that got that pass from the double team, made the next play, and was able to get a shot, or that was the hockey pass. So I just look at how the growth, right? Because at times you want to really try to just score. You hearing MVP talks, you got to get your numbers up, but just making the right basketball play normally gives you success, right? You're going to get an opportunity to get a good look. And all these were, second pass right there, just accepting the double team, Grant popping out. One swing across, skip, reading the defense, making the right play. If you continue to do that as a basketball team, you will have more success than not.
Yeah, and again, some of it seemed rather unlikely, right? I mean, like Blake Griffin hitting those 3 threes right out of the gate when the Celtics were really struggling. I mean, Philadelphia seemed like they could have been up 18-2 if it wasn't for Blake Griffin and Grant Williams right from the start. Everyone was making them, but in particular, what about Sam Hauser? Because this is a guy we've talked about, and he was really good October, November, struggled after that. And then you look at what he's done here over the last 2 games. He has really come on. Scal's with us now. Scal, I guess I'll get your thoughts on tonight's game and just what you saw from the supporting cast and the way they led this group.
remember, the Philadelphia 76ers do a phenomenal job of defending the three. But as good as you are at defending the three, you can't defend it when you really move the ball well. And guys got the ball and they shot it with confidence. It was so big, and I know you were going down the road of Blake Griffin and Grant Williams. For those guys early on to hit those threes to keep the Celtics in that game, that was huge. And then that sort of set the tone for the rest of the team. Now, think about it. Jaylen Brown goes out in the second quarter. Jason Tatum didn't have the biggest offensive night, but the passing, the three-point shooting, it was the big separator in today's game.
Yeah, and Eddie, just to follow up on that, just about Sam Hauser as well, to see him shoot confidently the way he did throughout tonight.
Yeah, he had to step in. When you understand that you're going to get minutes and then you don't have the pressure of every single shot is a pressure shot because I'm fighting for my rotational life. I'm fighting to be a guy that's going to be dependent on. When you know that you're going to be out there, it's a sense of comfortability that you're so comfortable out there that you don't have, you just playing the game. And when you get the shots, you're letting it fly without thinking like, I need to make this. I have to make this, and putting so much pressure on himself. But we got to just, again, Scal, I think you could attest to this. I think Jason Tatum did a fantastic job tonight, right? I know we're talking about Hauser, but I thought he did a great job of accepting the double team. And I said that before you came on. And that's huge. When you have a superstar player who is the guy who looks at numbers, don't get it wrong, they all look at numbers, and at the same time as an MVP candidate, he's looking like, okay, what do I have to do? Well, make the pass, accept the double team, and make the right play and get your other teammates off. To me, that speaks volumes in the growth of a player to me. Those things that might not see, that's an MVP player to me. That's what a most valuable player does. He doesn't just settle and say, hey, I got to go get my numbers. And no, he makes the right play. He gets his teammates off, and then he's able to play from there. But I thought he did a great job. Scal, I think you could speak to it a little bit more. You was right there live and direct.
Yeah, I think what you're talking about is like things that like he doesn't necessarily going to get credit for. Him hitting Grant Williams on that short roll right at the free throw line. Grant Williams kicking out to Sam Hauser. Grant Williams made a nice play. He's going to get an assist on that, but that's all because Philly's got to put 2 on Tatum. And everywhere Tatum went today, they were worried about him. Think about the early threes from Blake Griffin because Joel Embiid was sort of spying on Tatum. As Tatum would drive, Embiid was like, we're not going to let you get anything at the rim. So, yeah, I thought he did a great job. It felt like he made every play, especially with him or Brogdon. It felt like every play started with Tatum coming off a pick and roll, drawing 2, making the play, and the Celtics would work the ball and eventually get that shot. But you don't compromise the defense first without having Jason Tatum out there.
All right, Skelly, you talked about before the game, right towards the end of the pregame, you talked about, hey, this could be a trap for Philly. You know, the Celtics with so many guys out, and then we see it play out, and the Celtics really just outplayed them tonight.
Yeah, I don't think it was a trap game where the Sixers were overlooking the Celtics. I just don't think they were ready for the barrage of threes, and they were not ready for the ball movement. The Celtics ball movement was exceptional today, and the Sixers, you know, they were just running in mud a little bit. Here's another one. Joel Embiid lives on the free throw line night in and night out, but not tonight because the Celtics did a good job. They mixed up their coverages. Sometimes they came after he dribbled the ball. Sometimes they came right away. They double teamed him at the free throw line. Sometimes they faked the double team and wouldn't come. So the way the Celtics play, they were playing chess and the Sixers were playing checkers. So big win with four guys out. That was it's a huge win for the Celtics and these guys out here.
I look at 2 things. 2 things were exposed by the Sixers tonight. They were exposed that if you move the ball, they're not a great defensive team. They don't have great individual defenders. And when they don't have great individual defenders at the same time, they're not a great team defending team in spurts, at moments. And sometimes they are, but then for the most part, over the course of the game, they're not, right? And I think we were able to see that tonight. Our threes were going in, true enough. But then also, if Maxey is James Harden and Joel Embiid, and if Maxey doesn't have nothing going, Tobias Harris doesn't have anything going, this team is hard-pressed to score anywhere else. And so those are 2 things that I took and looked at tonight in this game. Was like, that was my takeaway from the Philadelphia 76ers, that they have a hard time guarding the ball, and they have a hard time guarding out of rotation, and that if you could just cut off everybody else, it's hard for them to score anywhere else besides Joel Embiid and James Harden.
And keep in mind, again, this is the hottest team in basketball going back to December 9th, so they've been good and couldn't keep up with the Celtics tonight. All right, let's get into some DraftKings here as we went with our same game parlay, looking for Jason Tatum under on the assists and looking for Jaylen Brown to knock down some threes, Joel Embiid for a double-double. Scal, obviously, Jaylen Brown going out in the second quarter, that's not good for us. But as you look at the way Philadelphia defended the Celtics, I think that was probably maybe the biggest surprise as it pertains to the way we set things up.
Yeah, no question. That's why I think it was such a remarkable game by the Celtics in the ball movement. You know, Philadelphia is just historically really good at defending the three. They weren't today. Historically, they make you funnel you into Joel Embiid. I was expecting a big scoring night from Tatum, the way that Philly would guard, but not tonight. Like, you never know when guys start, like Sam Hauser comes in, makes the big-time threes, Blake Griffin, Grant Williams. Those are all bonus. So that I thought that the game completely unfolded the opposite of the way that I thought it was going to unfold today. And as far as Joel Embiid and the double-double, you know, he was trending that way in the first half. In the second half, he just stopped rebounding, and I give credit to the Celtics like Luke Cornett, Grant Williams, and Blake Griffin keeping him off the glass.
I mean, how do you defend Jason Tatum at this point? It's like, if you just send single coverage at him, he's going to get you. But if you double him, he's going to burn you the way he did tonight. It's right?
Yeah. No, I think the best way to do it is to try to meet him at the rim. That's the best job. Most teams that kind of get into him, be physical with him, don't double team him outside, but meet him at the rim is the best way to do it. But if you have an Al Horford out there or Blake Griffin you saw tonight knocking down threes, you got to pick your poison. Tatum at the rim cooking, or Al Horford, Blake Griffin wide open. Either way, you can get burned by that.
All right, we're going to get back on the horse on Friday night here for DraftKings. And soon enough, DraftKings Sportsbook, Boston's hometown sportsbook, is going to be live right here in Massachusetts. Sign up now, and new customers will receive up to $200 in bonus bets on launch day. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code RAPTORS when you sign up. All right, let's send it back out to the Garden. Abby Chin is standing by with head coach Joe Mazzulla.
So, is it any better? Do you feel any differently winning a game like this at the end, being down 4 starters and seeing your depth shine the way it did?
Yeah, I mean, I feel for the players. I think they did a great job stepping up. It started with Blake, who all year, every time his name has been called, he's played great for us on both ends of the floor. And I think, you know, he's the catalyst to, you know, the mindset and the presence that we had as a team tonight. So I'm happy for the guys.
Defensively, how were you guys able to step up and stop that Philly team that was at full strength?
Yeah, when you play against a team with so much talent, you can't be blinded by the details. And so it's the shooting fouls, it's the transition, it's the offensive rebound threes. And so we did a great job taking away the simple things. And then just trusting our defense, and we made timely plays on both ends of the floor.
You're an intense guy, particularly when you're playing pickup. But to see a guard do the things that Derrick White does, especially defensively, how much fun is that to watch, and how amazing is that?
Yeah, it's fun, and I appreciate it. You just appreciate a guy that doesn't give up on plays, that makes mistakes but doesn't hang his head. And, you know, he's a guy that just we can rely on both ends of the floor, making timely shots, and that block was an awesome play.
And then finally, this is your first time as a head coach dealing with the trade deadline and everything that's going on. How will you approach tomorrow, the beginning of the day, and do you have any conversations with the guys?
I'm just here for the guys. So whatever they need, I'm here for them.